Hi there. Today's book is in the martial arts series and it's Secrets of Uechi ryu Karate by Alan Dollar. Now, Mr. Dollar is a highly graded instructor. He's from the United States, but he's made many trips to Okinawa and researched the history, dug very, very deep, and he's produced this very comprehensive book. It's probably the most detailed book on the style that I've seen, because in recent years more information and more photographs have become available than in the past. So Okinawa had quite an affinity to China, more so than to Japan. And in Fukien there was a kind of hostel where Okinawans could stay who were seeking to work in China or to train in the martial arts, or just to avoid conscription into the Japanese army. And one such was Kanbun Uechi, who went over there, trained in the martial arts, and it's all very, very detailed who he trained with and the systems and everything. And then eventually became an instructor, opened a dojo, a school, which was rather unusual. So he must have been very adept. Unfortunately, either one of his students, or it might have been him himself, killed somebody in a fight, and was then shunned by the locals and ended up leaving China and going back firstly to Okinawa, and then he settled in southern Japan. And he gave up teaching, and but eventually a group of expatriate Okinawans in Japan persuaded him to teach, and he did start teaching there. One of his students was his son, Kane, and eventually the style was then exported back to Okinawa, and for the first time the system, which was usually known as Pangai Noon, was taught. And then later it was renamed Uechi ryu in honor of the founder. So very, very detailed history, and the book also goes into the kata. There's pictures of the main katas step by step. The conditioning methods, which are very severe, body hardening, the use of equipment, Hojo Undo, traditional equipment. Also, really quite a lot on Kobudo, the weapons, including the shield, which was kind of a tortoise shell shield, which was very rare. That's all included in detail. There's also information about some of the lesser known other karate systems in Okinawa, the genealogies of them. So the book is really packed. It's a very substantial work, and it's packed with all this information. Very well explained. I found it very, very interesting. And there's a section about the museum that was established a few years ago, the Museum of Karate in Okinawa, and the artifacts they've got there. And all in all, it's a splendid book. It's a real contribution to the art. And anybody who's interested in karate in general, in the Okinawan systems, and obviously in particular Uechi ryu, will find this a real treasure.